The interrogation chamber hummed with the low vibration of Zephyrian technology, its crystalline walls pulsing with an ethereal blue light. Commander Vextai studied the human specimen seated across the metal table, his four eyes narrowing as he processed the creature's calm demeanor. The human, according to their records, Sergeant First Class Marcus Chun of the Terran Colonial Marines, sat with his hands clasped, looking almost bored despite the gravity of his situation. "You understand why you are here, human," Vextai clicked in Galactic Standard, his mandibles clicking with each syllable. The translation implant would ensure the primitive creature understood. Chun nodded once, his dark eyes meeting each of Vextai's four without flinching. "War Crimes Tribunal." "Yeah, I got the memo." The Zephyrian commander's secondary arms twitched, a sign of irritation. This human showed none of the expected fear or remorse. Around the chamber, representatives from 12 different species observed through reinforced viewing panels. The collective had gathered to witness what they believed would be a simple case: a single human soldier answering for the destruction of an entire Krob invasion fleet. "The charges are severe," intoned Counselor Mordek, the Altarian prosecutor. Her voice resonated through specialized vocal chambers, each word carefully modulated. 372 vessels destroyed. Crew casualties numbering 47,631 souls. Chun's expression didn't change. He simply waited. "Before we proceed with formal charges," Vextai continued, "the collective wishes to understand the scope of your ... activities. 4. Our records." He paused, studying the human's face. "What is your confirmed kill count, Sergeant Chun?" The question hung in the recycled air like a blade. Every observer leaned forward. The Krovak were known throughout the galaxy as unstoppable juggernauts, each warrior standing 9 feet tall with natural armor plating and regenerative capabilities. For a single human barely 6 feet of soft flesh and fragile bone, to have eliminated so many was unprecedented. Chun blinked slowly, as if considering the question for the first time. When he spoke, his voice was steady, almost conversational. "This planet or all of them?" The chamber fell silent, except for the humming of life support systems. Vextai's translator implant cycled through the phrase 3 times, certain it had malfunctioned. "Clarify your statement," the commander demanded. "Well," Chun said, leaning back slightly in his restraints, "if you're asking about my kill count just on Kepler 442b here, that's the number your prosecutor lady mentioned. But if you want my total count ... bull quotes," he shrugged. "That's a different conversation." Counselor Mordok's throat sac inflated with shock. "You claim to have engaged in combat on multiple worlds?" "Claim?" Chun's eyebrows rose. "Commander, I've been fighting your kind for 7 years. Kepler 442b was just Tuesday." The viewing panels erupted in chittering, growling, and harmonic discussions as the observer species processed this revelation. Vextai raised a hand for silence, his mind racing through intelligence reports. Humans had only made contact with the collective 18 months ago, and their military capabilities were assessed as laughably primitive. "Impossible," Vextai stated. "Human space travel is limited to sublight engines. You lack the technology for interstellar warfare." Chun's mouth curved in what humans called a smile, though it held no warmth. "You really don't know anything about us, do you?" He looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes of every observer. "We didn't wait for you to come to us, gentlemen. We've been coming to you." The Altarian prosecutor's translator struggled with the implications. "You suggest that Terra has been conducting stealth operations against collective member species?" "Stealth?" Chun laughed, a sound that somehow made every alien in the chamber step back. "There was nothing stealthy about Vega Prime, or the Andromeda Station, or when we glassed the Krovog homeworld." His eyes hardened. "You want numbers? Fine, Vega Prime. 8,000 Zephyrian casualties when we took out their orbital defense. Grid, Andromeda, 15,000 mixed species when we convinced them to stop raiding our outer colonies, the Krovak homeworld." He paused. 2.3 billion. The chamber's atmosphere recyclers couldn't keep up with the sudden spike in stress. Pheromones from a dozen different species. Vextai's claws extended involuntarily as his fight-or-flight responses activated. Lies, he whispered. The Krovak homeworld shows no signs of attack. That's because there's nothing left to show signs on, Chun replied matter-of-factly. We're very thorough when we need to be. The human leaned forward, and somehow the motion seemed more threatening than all the Krovak's roars and Zephyrian weapon displays combined. See, you made a mistake when you first encountered our exploration ship near Proxima Centauri. You saw one small vessel with primitive weapons and assumed that represented our entire civilization. Classic intelligence failure. Chun's restraints clinked as he gestured. What you actually encountered was the equivalent of a child's toy boat. Our real ships. They've been in your space for decades, watching, learning, mapping every installation, every fleet movement, every weakness. His smile returned. Did you know that your entire species' fleet movement patterns follow an algorithm we cracked in? Year 2? Commander Vexai's hand shook as he accessed his personal communication device, sending priority alerts to collective high command. Around the chamber, other observers were doing the same. You see, Chun continued conversationally, humans have this interesting trait. When we're faced with a threat, we don't just prepare to defend ourselves. We prepare to eliminate the threat entirely. It served us well during our little ice age, couple of world wars, that unfortunate business with the AI rebellion in 2157. The Altarian counselor's voice came out as barely a whisper. What do you want? Chun considered the question. Seriously, well, originally we just wanted to be left alone. But then your species started treating first contact like an invitation to test our defenses. Started poking at our outer colonies, taking our people for study. His tone remained conversational, but every alien in the room could feel the menace underneath. So we decided to teach you a lesson about consent. He looked directly at Vextai. The Krefik invasion fleet you're so upset about. That wasn't me defending myself, Commander. That was me sending a message. One ship, one human, 47,000 casualties. Now imagine what would happen if Terra decided to send more than one ship. The chamber erupted in chaos as representatives began emergency communications with their homeworlds. Through it all, Sergeant Marcus Chun sat calmly, watching the panic spread like ripples in a pond. So, he said, his voice cutting through. The noise. Shall we discuss terms for your species' surrender? Or do I need to provide a more detailed demonstration of human capabilities? In the cold silence that followed, the collective learned their first hard lesson about humanity. Sometimes, the most dangerous predator is the one that smiles while it describes exactly how it plans to eat you.